Hello. Welcome to Let's Get Social. Happy Friday. Um, Today we're going to be doing Burda 5811. And I picked this skirt because I thought it's not mid July. It is August 1st. And it's August. It's in the midsummer. That's what I want to say. It's midsummer. And I thought this would be really versatile. And you could see on the front of the pattern, they use it for a cover up. They use it for a skirt. So it could be dressed up or dressed down. And so I thought, why not? This gives us some options, and we all love options. So that's what we're going to do today. Plus, I'm afraid to say it. So maybe I shouldn't, but maybe I will. It says it's easy on the packet, and I think it's going to be quick. So we'll see. Hi, Gaynell. Welcome. Welcome. Thank you for coming this Friday. So I haven't sewn a Burda pattern in, I don't know, maybe I've made one other Burda pattern. I have, a dozen or so that I haven't sewn that I've purchased. But this is one page of instructions, and the instructions are very different from what I'm used to reading. But the skirt I think is pretty straightforward, and I think it can be put together without instructions. Honestly, it's a front and a back piece. That's it. And it has some ruching on the side with a tie, which I use. You know how when you instead of using like a regular like a tie, like artificial tie, or I guess a pre-made tie, I use at the very end of my knit fabric, you know how it always curls at the end? I just cut that little curl piece off, and I thought, this is perfect. It's the perfect size. So I just used that, and I thought it matches exactly. So I did that. But basically, you have a tie or ribbon or whatever you're going to use to do your ruching, because it's going to hang out the bottom. And you need a piece of elastic for your waistband, and then you just have a piece of fabric, one for the front. You have two pattern pieces, a front pattern piece and a back pattern piece, which you cut on the fold. And I had this last little bit of fabric, so I was able to cut one piece on the fold, and then the second piece I actually had to cut two separate pieces and sew it together in the middle to make one piece on the fold, or one piece together. So we'll see if hopefully that doesn't mess things up too much. But I really wanted to use this. This is the last little bit of this fabric that I had. I also cut a size 20. So I've been cutting a size 16 for all of my patterns, but I cut a size 20 because when I opened up the pattern pieces, it had this legend, which basically kind of tells you like what your size is. And it has 12 different measurements that range from everything from your height to your front waist length. I mean, it's like they measure everything. So I thought this was pretty a helpful resource to have. But according to this, my waist is it was a 30. I was a 33, I think I was. So let's see if I lost any weight. Let's hope we're at 30. Yeah, it's like 32 and a half, 33. Let's just say I want to be a 30. Let's say 33, 32 and a half, for good sakes, But anyway, let's say 32 and a half. If waist is number 3, so that put me at between an 18 and a 20. 18 is 32 and a fourth, and 20 is 33 and 7/8, or almost 34 inches around. So I cut a size 20. But I also cut a size 20 because I'm doing the shorter one, view A, and I wanted it to have a looser fit because instead of wearing it as a cover up, I actually kind of wanted to wear it as like a mini skirt. So we'll see, we'll see whether I don't think it's going to be oversized because this knit that I'm using is really a stretchy knit. It's kind of more like not bandage material. It's not that tightly woven, but it's got some grab on it. So we'll see how it all turns out. It's definitely not as loose as it's not a flowy type of knit. It's a much more tight fitting knit. Like this is a knit that if I made a skirt out of it, it could have a little bit of flow to it. It's not gonna like suck you in. The knit that I'm making the skirt out of is going to like suck you a little bit. So we'll see how it works for the skirt. It may not be the right material, but I really do like this black. So I've made other things out of it, like leggings and a skirt, a fitted skirt. So that was much tighter than this one. So so we'll see how it works. So here is what the pattern actually looks like. We're making this skirt right here, the shorter one. But the only difference in all of them is the length. And it's a pretty big difference between view A, which is the shortest, view B, and view C. They are very different in length. And so just want to make you aware of that, FYI. Okay, so step one is that we are going to be sewing the right seam. So we're going to be laying the front skirt panel right sides together with the back front panel. That's all we have is the front and the back. So I'm going to do that right now. And Gaynell, tell me, what are you working on? Are you sewing anything at all? Have you ever made this pattern before? This does feel kind of big. We'll see what happens. Size 20. Let me see something. The good news is that it's going to fit. It's just going to be how loose is it around. You can't really see, but let me back up a little bit. So we'll see. Like I said, I did want it to be short. So also this has for the where you're putting the elastic is self-faced. So it's actually you're going to lose some at the top because it's self-faced, and you're going to lose some at the bottom because you're folding it up at the bottom as well to do the hem. And the hem is I think it's 1 5/8 inches is the hem. Obviously you have the ability to make it less than that, but that is what it is calling for. All right. Believe it or not, this black fabric has a right and a wrong side to it. So you just have to look at it and make sure. Otherwise, I mean, other people probably won't be able to tell the difference, but you will. Right sides together. So right now we're just working on sewing the right side seam. I'm using clips to do this. I got to get all of my sew-alongs up for this month. I think I only have one other one up. And this one I literally just put up moments ago. So it wasn't up in advance. So I got to get the other ones. I'll work on that this weekend. I literally just wrapped up work like 20 minutes ago. So it's been a busy Friday for sure. And it's cool today compared to how it's been the last week. It's been in the hundreds, and now it's 70 degrees, so it feels cold. Okay, let's see. So we are sewing the right side seam all the way down. That's what we're doing right now. So let's get to it. And 5/8 of an inch seam allowance is what I'm using. So last week sew along, you know, we did the top and the skirt. It turned out really, really well. This top, you know, we made it through, and Auntie Carol helped me offline to fix it. But Miss Alethea actually identified where we went wrong. And I'm so appreciative because I really like the top and I'm going to make another one. But when I was putting everything together, I didn't realize that the zipper actually was supposed to be on the underarm part, and I had it on the other side. And that is why I wasn't able to open it up the way that it was. And even though the instructions didn't go into detail, but that is why we were having problems. So I'm going to do another video just kind of explaining that. I may even do another video just doing that top again, because it really wasn't difficult had we not run into those complications. All right, one side down. And now the next thing we're doing is, it says we need to neaten the hem allowance and press to the inside, work from the outside of the garment, and use twin machine needles to top stitch 1 1/4 wide. Where are we? Stitch at the straight stitch setting with 2 upper threads. So we're not going to use, hey, Tydree, we are not going to use the double needle. What we are going to do is we are going to press this under. We are going to create this hem just because why not? We have time, because if I sew the other seam, then we're literally going to be done the skirt. So we are going to sew this, press and sew this seam. So let me just plug my iron in. Tydree, what are you working on? I saw your one of your videos, but I didn't have the sound on because I was working. I was in a meeting, so I couldn't hear it. I was like, oh, I gotta come back. Hey. Okay. So again, we're pressing up the bottom so that we can create a hem. We are not going to use the twin needle to create that hem. We're just going to do a single. We're just going to do a single. Hi, Diane. Welcome. Thank you for joining. We're going to just do a single stitch at the bottom. Do I have a double needle? Yes. But we're not switching out needles. Today, we are not. So let me see, do I have any? Oh, yeah, I do. Okay, perfect. So I'm just pressing this under. I'm eyeballing what I think. Oh, you do want to make sure this skirt does have a top and a bottom. It is not a rectangle. So you want to make sure that you are actually working on the bottom when you think you're working on the bottom. Finishing a hoodie dress you made yesterday. Okay. Tydree, what state are you in? Please don't tell me I did this. I think I did this. I did. Oh, fudge. I did the very thing that I just told y'all not to do. Ah! I sewed the front and the back together, the bottom and to the top. And there is a top and there is a bottom. So now I gotta take it apart. California. Hi, Denise. Welcome. So we're making Burda 5811. It is a skirt. It is a cover up. It is what you want it to be. You can wear it. Could be you could dress it up, dress it down, depending on the length that you choose. We're doing the shorter length. So I'm just using my needle to give me a little bit of leverage here. Yep, that's the bottom. Okay. I mean, that's the top. Yeah, there are like literally just 2 pattern pieces to this. Oh, let me try up here. I'm trying to put my seam ripper in and literally just rip it down, but I gotta get in between the seam in order to make that work, because this will cut this. You hate when I see the pieces wrong. Yeah, I'm so mad I didn't identify. I literally said to everyone, make sure that you got it the right side, because there is a top and there is a bottom, and just like that I had already sewn mine wrong. I'm like, really? And of course, this is something that is not easy to take apart. It's not easy at all to take apart. So I need to get a couple holes in here and then I'll be good. Break a couple of the threads. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. When you sew, okay. When you sew the pieces wrong. Yes, that's the worst thing. Because I'm like, I mean, this is not going to be the most difficult thing to sew, but golly, you know, the last thing you want to do is spend time taking it apart, especially with this, because I'm using black thread, black fabric, and the fabric is very, like I said, it's woven really tight. It's not bandage type material type, but it's definitely, you know, it's got a little bit of compression in it. So it just swallows up the thread. So it makes it really hard to like find it when you're trying to like take it out. This is one of those things where you kind of think, do I really want to use like maybe a gray instead of just black on black on black? But when you do it right, you'd be happy, like, oh yeah, you can't even see it. All right, so see, we got it. So yeah, so I'm going to try to work this week or before next week and see if I can put a video up about last week's skirt. Um, because I mean last week's top, because the top was, it truly is so cute. The one arm top. And I'm going to also, like, this would have been the perfect fabric to do it with. I wish I had more. I just used the last bit on this skirt, but I wish I had more of this fabric, because this would have been the perfect fabric to do that top with, because it's got the right amount of stretch, the right amount of compression. Just would have been great. But I'm going to try to find another fabric, a knit, something with a good amount of spandex in it, because you need something that's going, give you some support. But that top that I did in the Ankara is not bad at all, because it's fitted enough that it holds you together, which is really important when you're doing one sleeve, anything. I'm also going to be making, I'm going to put up I already put out the August schedule, but I'm going to repost it. But before I repost the August schedule, I am going to make a change. I'm going to make a change to one of the last week. We're not going to sew on the August 29th. And then the 22nd, I'm actually going to do, I'm going to do these pants. We're doing the top one week, and then I'm going to do the pants another week. So I'll put that out this week too, the updated schedule, and I'll upload all of the sew alongs in YouTube, so they'll all be there and showing up on Facebook and YouTube, so you'll know about them all in advance. So that way, if you do want to sew along, you can, because you'll know and you'll be able to prepare. You know what? I did not post it. Well, Diane, where I posted it was, I have one of those little, I don't know what it's called, one of those little chat groups on Instagram, and I put it in there, but I did not post it like on my YouTube, but I will, because it is so cute. And I kind of took some pictures like right after I sewed it, and I just posted it so that, the people in that chat, in that group, can see. But I haven't posted it anywhere else, but I will, because it is so cute. And maybe I'll do that this weekend, because once you see it, I think you will want to make it. It just really looks cute. And I'll, fix myself up and take some decent pictures, and not just the ones where I'm holding the phone in the mirror and taking it, because that's what I had. That's what I shared in the group. I mean, you get a good feel for how it looks though. But what I love about it is that I like that it shows, like, I got a little bit of muscles from working out, and I like that it shows that a little bit on the side, that the sleeve goes down. I just really like it. It turned out really, really good. I'm just glad I was able to finish it despite the hiccups that I had on the call. Okay, here we go. Last little bit. Okay, so now I need to do as I say, not as I did. Okay, so this is, let's see. Okay, this is the outside. So this needs to be like this. So that's the other thing. I got so caught up on making sure that I was on the right side of the fabric that I did not. Okay, right sides facing. Okay, here we go. Is that right? Nope. It's this way. Okay, here we go. Finally, I got right sides facing, and I got the top to the top and the bottom to the bottom. Finally. All right, so now we're back to step one. We're doing step one, which is sewing the right side of the skirt. I'll say it again, there is a top and there is a bottom. So you just want to make sure you have them aligned, because from a distance, it can look like this is just a rectangle, but it is not. It has a little curve in around the waist part. And so you just want to make sure. And with knit, it's so easy to just stretch it over. And that's exactly what I did. I was like, oh, these things don't line up. And I just stretched it right on over and kept it moving instead of questioning it. Why is it not lining up? Because I cut them to line up. So why isn't it? You know? So yeah, there's that. Anyway, we're getting ready to sew this down. And then we're going to move on to doing the hem. And actually, when you're sewing this top part, you are not going to sew the area of the waistband. And this is a self-facing waistband, so that's why, like, this is all that top part from where my fingers, all of this. So we're not sewing that. We're starting below that. There's a dot there, and you're going to go below that dot. And 5/8 of an inch seam allowance is what we're working with. And just make sure those edges are lined up. Here we go. Anybody working on anything this weekend? Sewing anything? Finishing up anything? So this top that I have on, I have a lot of this fabric. It was a Halloween fabric. This actually is a glow in the dark fabric. I've never actually seen it glow in the dark, so, but it was when I bought it. I thought, oh, this is cute. So I made a skirt out of it. I made this reversible top. It's black on one side, and it's, you know, this on the other. And I started to make the skirt in this, but then I stumbled on this little piece of black that I'm doing. But I might still make one in this fabric just to wear with this top. But this is like a little tank top that I will throw on from time to time. And I mostly wear it on the black side. But that's why I thought, oh, it'll be good to make a little skirt. All right, finally. Finally. All right, there we go. Just got other old little pieces of thread in here. All right, now we can move on to, so I've sewn up, this is the right side. And basically what we're doing is just connecting the whole two pieces of the skirt. And the next thing it asks us to do, and this is what I mean by you're leaving the top part open. That's basically the facing where the, where your elastic is going to go. But what I'm doing right now is I'm folding up the end by 1 1/4 inches, and I'm going to press it, and then we're going to sew, and this is our hem. And what I really want to do is I'm going to do a double fold. I think that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, I'm going to fold it and then I'm going to fold it in again. Fold it under. I think that's what I'm going to do. Get a little fancy with it. Thank you, Tadri. Thank you so much. I love it. I'm a tank top person. I love a good tank. You know what? I self-drafted this. This is not even off a pattern. I just love tank tops so much. I got like 3 black ones that are just plain black. And like I said, this one is a reversible because it's black on one side and then this fabric on the other. Look, this fabric said we do not. It said get somebody else to do it because what we're not going to do is stay pressed under. But guess what? I'm going to pin this sucker so that it will stay pressed under. So when we stitch it, we won't have no problems. Okay, here we go. Hopefully, the way I'm doing it won't give me no problem later on. Hey, excuse me. Hey, Aisha. Aisha, fixed the zipper. Auntie Carol helped me. I'm like, you know what's so crazy? I'm like, I don't sew for other people, but I did enjoy repairing my boyfriend's pants. His zipper came apart in one of his dress pants, and it was a zipper fly zipper, and I was able to fix it. I needed some help. Because I couldn't get the zipper to sit right, and so Auntie Carol gave me a little help. It's crazy because I had this little break from sewing, but it's like you don't realize like how much like, oh, that little break, that little disruption, you be forgetting like little things. But it's all coming back. That's what I love about sewing. But anyway, I was saying all that to say, like, it's just a really good feeling to know that he didn't have to he didn't have to go to a seamstress or go to the cleaners or whatever and get them to fix his zipper, that I was able to do it. I was like, yes, I was determined to get that zipper right. Determined, okay? And I was very happy that I was able to do it. That just made me feel so good. I'm like, yeah, I don't sew for other people, but I would not mind fixing. Know what, Aisha, she just posted a video of how she does it, and that's what I need. I just needed to see that basically it's one stitch that I forgot to do, the stitch that lays it all down on the top, and that's why I kept pulling apart that way. And I forgot about that. I just kind of did it by memory. And I was like, oh, well, I forgot that part. That's why it keeps opening up. And it's crazy because I wish I would have asked her before I took the whole thing apart, thinking that I really did it wrong. And I didn't. I forgot to put that one stitch in. So that was it. All right, so we are more than halfway done with pressing this and putting this hem in. Aisha, this is where would be, if I had my cover stitch machine, this is a perfect cover stitch moment right here, okay? Okay. Perfect cover stitch moment. Gotta get it out. Gotta get my covers. Gotta do better with that. This iron board will tear you, the steam will tear you up. Right? Exactly. It was the most simplest thing. And I'm like, dang, I'm mad at myself because I took the whole thing apart, had to re-sew it all back together when it was right from the beginning. I was a little mad at myself, but it's okay. Hey, Miss Alethea. I was just telling everybody about, well, I was just talking about the zipper that I put in, but before that, I was telling people about what you had told me about. So I'll just repeat it because there's a lot of new people on that weren't on earlier. But so as I mentioned, Auntie Carol ended up helping me fix the top that we did last weekend, and it turned out beautiful because there's more than one way to skin a cat, as they would say. But but Miss Alethea had sent me a message basically saying like, hey, I realized what you did, or what you could have done to kind of rectify the situation, because as y'all remember, I put the whole thing together and then I couldn't figure out how to turn it. Well, the reason why we could not turn it, the reason why we couldn't get that shoulder, is because I put the zipper on the wrong side. And if I would have put the zipper on the underarm part, it would have been able to open out and we would have been able to turn the whole thing. But because I had it on the other side, it locked all this down, basically. So I'm making the shirt again. I'm going to actually probably do a video just because I think that's worth it. You know, I mean, the way that Auntie Carol showed me was not the wrong way. It was just a different way. And it worked. I mean, we got the end result. But if I would have put that thing on zipper where it was supposed to go, this is why they say reading is fundamental. And we would have been done. We would have met our deadline of an hour, 15 minutes on that shirt. We would have been good to go. Okay? I'm just saying. So thank you, Miss Alethea, for that, because you really helped me. Woo-wee. Oh, this thing said, I will not spare you anything when it comes to this steam. And I guess that's a good thing when you really want steam. All right, so we have basically pressed under, and the instructions calls for a twin needle to do a double stitch. Right here, we are going to do a single stitch, but we also are doing a double fold. So that is that. So we're not quite following the instructions, but hem is a hem is a hem, and we can do what we want. That's the best part about being a sewist, because you could do what you want to do. You can hack up, modify, and adjust. Okay, so with that said, now we're going to put our single stitch in. And I think we actually are going to do stitch number 5, which is I think it's called the lightning bolt. Am I right? This is the one you do for knits, so it's not so tight. So it gives you a little bit of flexibility. That's why they really want you to do the twin needle, because it helps. And so we're going to do this. Hopefully this don't use all my thread. Oh. All right, this looks like this is a slow stitch. It's going to take a minute. So we are doing our hem. We don't usually hem, but because this is going to be really quick, we are hemming. Okay, it's going pretty good. It's going pretty good. I'm using my edge foot to make sure I'm staying where I'm supposed to be. This project is perfect for your cover stitch machine for the hem. Yes, 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 yes. Please bring it out. Yes, I need to. I know. It is perfect. I didn't realize it at the time, but when I started working on this, I was like, you know what? This is a cover stitch moment if we've never seen one. This right here is a cover stitch moment. And it is. It really is. I got it right in there too. It's right in the cabinet. It's no excuse. I have no excuse. I think last week got me shook though. I was like, shoot, I don't want to, I'm so afraid to get derailed. Like, But I can't wait to finish this skirt. So we're doing Burda 5811. Here we go, right here. And I'm doing the short one, which is view A. It is basically a knit skirt that has ruching on the side with a string. And they have it, displayed three different ways. The longest, there's three different lengths. The longest length, they have it of much more of a like professional look. It, basically comes right below the knee on the non-ruche side and to the knee on the ruche side. And then they have a middle length one, and they on the package they have that one as a bathing suit cover. And then they have the short one, which is more like a mini skirt. And that's the one I'm doing. I did end up cutting, well, what I intended to cut was oversized because I wanted it to be a mini skirt but not fit tight, even though I'm using this very high, compression knit fabric. Okay. Gotta get my needle out, my pen. It's stuck in there. But Burda's measurements are different than what I'm used to. So it turns out that I was a size 20 anyway, based on my waist measurement being a 33 or 32 and a half. That put me right in between an 18 and a 20. So I ended up cutting a 20. Yes, I know. Oh, it's like I'm usually cutting a 16. But, anyway, I don't take these things serious, these measurements seriously, because at the end of the day, it's all about the numbers are just the numbers. You just got to make sure you match it up to what you need so it can fit your body. You can't get caught in whether it's a 8, a 10, a 16, a 20. It's whatever it is that gets you the right fit. That's the way I look at it. So the measurement says I'm a 20, then I'm a 20. So that's what I have cut. The good news is that I do want it to be oversized, so if it ends up being too big, that's probably going to be to my favor. Give me what I wanted in the first place. And also it's elastic at the waist. So, and I'm going to measure the elastic to my waist. So worst case scenario might be, um, it might be just a little bit more scrunched together around the waist. And you know, I could always take it out and adjust it if I need to. So that's the other part. So we got options. I am not worried. I am not worried. All right, we to the last little bit. This will truly probably be the first time I have done a hem of anything on live. I usually do all my hemming the next morning. All right, oops, almost forgot to take the pin out. We don't want that problem. We broke a needle, what was that, last week, week before? I don't want no more broken needles. Miss Alethea, you working on anything? You sewing anything? Okay. All right, see you, Tadri. Thank you. I appreciate you for stopping by. Aisha, you working on anything? I know. It's right here in my cabinet. All my sewing machines are in there. My backup machine, my cover stitch, my serger. I have them right at my disposal so that I have no excuse for why I wouldn't use it. It might even be threaded, to be honest with you. It might even be threaded. I think it is, actually. All right. And I think we are. I'm doing the last little piece. I'm just. All right. Okay, so we have sewn this stitch in at the bottom. It's looking pretty good. I don't know if you can see that, but it's in there. That's the hem at the bottom. All right, so now that we have done that, we are going to move on to the left side seam. So we sewed the right side seam, and now we're putting together the left side seam. So again, right sides together. And again, we are sewing below. There should be a dot at the top where you're facing is going to be your waistband facing. It's self-faced. So you want to sew from right below that dot, or right at that dot, I'm sorry, to the bottom of the skirt. Pinning this. And I'm gonna clip the rest. Oh, sorry. Thank you, Aisha. Bye, Miss Alethea. She's gone now. I know she was like, what? Lord. I had it's been a long day. I literally just wrapped up work like 20 minutes before I got on live today. So I'm like, in fact, I'm about to go pour me a cup of green juice because I need a little bit of energy. Is what I need. I need me some green juice. Oh, actually, you know what? Maybe I'll get a tonic. Get this little tonic drinks. Just like a little one. It gives me a little energy boost. Sugar water. That's why I don't drink them all the time. Because that's all it is. Sugar water. All right, here we go. Ooh. Shoot, that was wrong. Back to my regular stitch. And let me. Damn, that ain't waste no time. They were like. All right, let me get this right. All right, there we go. Gotta make sure whenever you switch that stitch, you gotta make sure you switch it back. I probably should have kept that stitch, honestly. That's probably the right stitch to do with this knit, but it doesn't tell us. Oh yeah, always. That's what I drink, Aisha. Just tonic, nothing in it. Just the tonic. Now I don't even get any fruit in it. No lime, no lemon. Don't put nothing in it. I barely want ice in it. Just give me my tonic. I always, I started doing that probably like 15 years ago because I went to this job I had. You know, basically it was a lot of, as a regular part of that job, you basically would be out and social and drinking. And I was like, I can't be doing this. And I know every day. So one of the people I work with was like, oh, just get a tonic. And I was like, okay. Because I got to drive. So I was like, I never actually really was familiar with tonic. I always thought about club soda. I was like, oh, that's nasty. Well, of course, I know, like y'all know, those are two different things. Was nasty to me, I shouldn't say. It tastes not great to me. I know a lot of people like it, but it's not my favorite. So yeah, ever since then, I'm like, every now and then I'll go buy a case of it and just have it. Because I actually would drink it instead of ginger ale. It's like, it's not as gingery as ginger ale, I guess. But at the end of the day, it's carbonated sugar water. That's what it is. That is what it is. It's carbonated sugar water. So I have to tell myself that so I don't drink it too much. Because I'm like, all you're doing is putting unnecessary sugar in your body that you don't need. Okay. All right. So now we got the right side and the left side sewn up. So we are now going to create the drawstring casing. So it's only going on one side. Did they tell us what side? They want us, left side. Okay, they telling us it's going on the left side. That's the side we just sewed up. So we are going to take this and press down our side seam on the inside. And then we're going to create that casing. And this is going to be tricky because what I realized about this skirt really quickly I should have probably made this side a little bit wider, just knowing that it's going to have this casing on it. I should have made the seam allowance a little bit wider, but it's all good. Yes, that's right, because that's all it is sugar at the end of the day, and it's not doing any good for your body. That's why I think we don't have good health as it is, because we got way too much sugar. Way too much. All right, so we're just gonna give this a little press. It looked like it's laying pretty flat by itself anyway. Get some water. Okay. But when it comes to like ginger ale and tonic, this right here, this fever tree, that's my favorite. I'm like, I love that brand. Even for their ginger, and they make different kinds of tonic water, different flavors of ginger ale. So whenever I buy it, that's what I buy. That is what I buy. All right, so again, we're making our casing. We're just pressing down our seams. And I mentioned this earlier, they tell you that you should get a little rope or pre-made rope for your drawstring to use. But I actually cut off, because again, I was down to the last little bit of fabric. Like I literally used the last little bit of fabric. And you know how when you buy knit fabric, at the end of it, it has this little curl piece? That's what this is. This is the little curl piece at the end of my knit. So this is what I'm using. I love it because it's not only is it stretchy, but it's just already curled. It's like the perfect string. I'm like, oh, that's perfect. All right. So we have pressed it, and now start at the bottom and work my way up. We're going to create our little casing that we are going to put our drawstring through. And I'm using my edge foot again, my favorite tool in this toolbox. There we go. And I'm just trying, because this is so stretchy, I'm just trying to hold it also, just to make sure it stays where it's supposed to be. Right, I did. It was like perfect, because I actually had a string that I was going to use, but I was like, this, you know what? I'm using every scrap of this. Every scrap of this fabric, I'm using it. I can't wait to try this on for y'all. But let me not get ahead of myself. Let's finish the skirt first. I'm not superstitious, but I guess I pretend to be sometimes, so I don't want to jinx myself. Okay. I should have put the top and the skirt on my dress form. So y'all, from last week, so y'all could all see it. But actually, you know what? I have it on my phone. Let me show y'all. Let me show you. Because I have pictures I took on my phone just so you could get a little glimpse. I took my grandson the other day to get his hair locked. So to get his maintenance done. This is his 4th time and he did so good. I was just so happy. Like the first time it was, so I did it when my daughter went in the hospital. Just so, because again, he's got all this hair and I thought this will be easier. Okay, so here we go. Let me make sure. Okay, I got a couple pictures I have hearted. Okay. Can y'all see that? Can y'all see that? That's the top. So that's one view. Let me show you another one. This is the back. Can y'all see that? Yeah, so he looks so cute. When I tell you he's looking so cute. Another one. I mean, this top is so cute. I don't know if y'all can see these pictures, but I'm trying my best to show it to you. The ring light is kind of like showing this way. Yes, I posted them in the little, what's that group called? The TikTok, I mean, not TikTok, sorry. The Instagram little message group. I forget what it's called. But, and then that's the skirt and the top that we made last week. That's both pieces. The denim bottom, the skirt with the split. And here's another one where you could kind of see the split. I did raise the split up a little bit. But that's both of them. That broadcast channel. Thank you, Aisha. Thank you. Because I was like, what is that little message group called? I can't. Yeah, so I posted them in the broadcast channel on TikTok. But I'm going to post them. I'm going to actually put it back on. And I haven't worn it yet. I just wore it. I just put it on after I had last Saturday after Auntie Carol helped me fix it. I was like, let me see how these two pieces look together. Did the vision really come together? And it did. So, but I'll take some real pictures. I'll like do something with my hair for real, for real, for real. So, why did it do that? Why did it make it so little? Okay. All right, so we just finished one side. And now we're going to do the other side. Same thing. So yeah, I really like the way it turned out, and I'm definitely gonna make that shirt again because I didn't realize that I like one-armed shirts because this is my first one. I don't think I have any other ones. So I'm like, that doesn't look so bad on me. I like it. I like it. So I definitely was like, I gotta do this again. Again, I'm just taking my time sewing this piece down because one, you can see this on the other side. So it's not like I'm just sewing the seam allowance that you won't see. You will see this stitch. So if it looks crazy. I mean, it'll be ruched, so I guess it's not going to be, it'll be forgiving. But two, because this fabric is so stretchy. All right, we got this last little piece. Thank you, Diane. It really is a cute top. It really is. And had it not been for my little mistake, it takes about an hour to make it. Maybe less. All right, we down to the last little bit. All right, there we go. So we have created our casings for our ruching. That's going to be so cute for sure. All right, now it's telling us to, are we putting the drawstring in? Let's see, cut cord for the drawstring into 2 equal pieces. Oh, okay, so I thought it was going to be 1 piece that we're threading through, but it's saying 2 equal pieces. Use safety pins and bodkins to insert the cord to the casing, pulling them down far enough so that the top ends lie 3/8 of an inch past the marked stitching line. Okay. All right, so I have safety pins right here. Here is my string that is telling us we're going to cut into 2 equal pieces. Look at this. I don't even want to cut it. I think I'm just going to push it through and then I'll cut it in the end. All right, wish me luck that this safety pin is going to go through here, through this casing, without difficulty. I'm going to start from the bottom and work my way up. So far, so good. It went in. That's the hardest part. It went in right there. I pulled it out because I wanted to make sure that the beginning was not balled up in there, making it harder to get it through, but it's not. Let me just, all right, there we go. Let's try that. All right, so I'm sliding this through little bit by little bit. This is my least favorite thing to do, is to push these things through here. Least favorite thing. Okay. I realize I'm getting hot because this ring light. shining on me, this light. All right. This is going to be really cute. I'm feeling it. All right, I think we more than a third, a little less than a half. All right, look at that. This looks so good. I'm telling you. Ah! Okay, we are 3/4 of the way through the first side. What time is it? Okay, hour, 10 minutes. I thought we'd be done in an hour, but I was procrastinating. So, oh, that's right. We had to take it apart. So that took a little bit of time. Mm-mm-mm. All right, there we go. We got it. Now I'm just going to pull this. Pulling it almost all the way through, and then I'm taking a safety pin and just safety pinning it to the end to make sure it doesn't come all the way through. All right, one side down, and we're going to push it through this other side. And then I will be cutting it and doing that stitch across like they suggested. And this side is actually going a lot faster for some reason than the other one. Maybe this side is a little bit bigger. Don't you love it when you sew something that you could just see the vision coming? That's how I felt about last week too, before I made that mistake. So, but I definitely feel like I'm going to really like this skirt. And I'm gonna tell you something. I don't know about y'all, but I wear my clothes, and when I like it, I wear my clothes a lot. I'll wear the same thing over and over. I'll like take it off, put it in the washing machine, and a couple days later, wear it again. Yes, I will. So I feel like the skirt, it might be my August skirt. I haven't been going too many places lately because I don't know about y'all, but we got those lantern flies around here, and they are just awful. They are awful. I'm like, it makes me not even want to go outside at all. Okay, we down to the last piece, and we have made it. So let's just pull this out. There we go. We got it out, and we're not going to pull it too much because I want to straighten it out and make that cut in the middle like we did for the others. I'm sorry, I want to make the cut in the middle like it's suggested in the instructions. So I'm going to flatten this out, and then I am going to cut this. Where's my scissors? before I cut it, let me just make sure. It says, cut cord for drawstring into 2 equal pieces and use safety pins as bodkins to insert the cord into the casing, carefully pulling them down far enough so that the top ends lie 3/8 past the mark stitching lines. Okay. So I've cut them. Oops. I just want to make sure 3/8 of an inch past the marked stitch lines. Okay. So just to show you this, they use this little presser foot as a stitch line. So I am just going to, I just want to make sure that before I do it, because again, it has this built-in self-facing. So it's 3/8 of an inch below that. So I'm just going to make a little mark. Stitch line. Is here. Three-eighths of an inch below that is basically right here. All right, there we go. And I can make this anyway because and let me just mark this too. This is the facing fold. Because as I mentioned before, there is a self-facing. All right, there we go. So I am going to pin this piece right here. And then I'm going to pull the drawstring down. Hey, Helen. Happy Friday. Welcome. We're working on Burda 5811, the skirt. And right now I am putting in the drawstring that will create the ruching. We've already kind of inserted it on both sides. Now I'm just stitching it in. I'm pinning it so I can stitch it in. All right, there we go. So that's that side. Now we're going to do the same thing over here. So I'm just safety pinning it to where I'm going to stitch it down. And let me see. Pin ends at stitch exactly on the marked stitch line. Okay. All right, there we go. So we have pulled it in. And now I'm literally going to stitch these right on that stitch line. So I'm going to do one side. And I'm actually only stitching it to the seam allowance. So you're not going to see it from the outside. Okay, that side looks good. Now I'm doing the same thing on this side. And I'm just going to stitch it right to that seam allowance. Yep, you can't see it from this side. So it is done. Okay, so that is in. Now we are going to finish the upper edge of the skirt. And so what it is asking us to do is it is asking us to, did it ask us? Oh, wait a minute. Oh yeah, we did. Okay. So we are finishing the upper skirt edge. So we have our self-facing, as I mentioned before. And we are folding that down. There is a line that you're folding it down on. It's a fold line. And you're folding it towards the end, the outside of the skirt. Wrong side. You're folding the right side onto the wrong side. Yes. So basically, you're looking at the wrong side of my skirt, and I'm folding down. Just self-facing. And I am actually going to probably press it. Just to make it stay. And make sure it's even all the way around, because like I said, this fabric, it curls at the end. I know there's something you can do to eliminate that curl, but should probably just pin this all the way around. Probably make it easier. So yeah, that's what I think I'm gonna do. I think I'm just gonna pin it. That'll make it easier for me to make sure, or at least put a couple of pins in it. It's hard with this side kind of curling. Lean self-facing and press to the inside. Okay, so it's actually telling us to press it down. But I'm going to pin this. Before I do that, I'm actually going to just bring this stitch up just a teeny bit, because although it has it open, I feel like they closed it, or at least they didn't keep it as open. So I'm going to close it. There we go. And here's where it's telling us to fold it down right here. Okay. Do the same thing on this side. I'm just closing up these sides because this directions tell you to stitch below the dot, but I'm just going to stitch the whole side seam down. Okay, that's fine. And then I'm just going to make a quick mark of the fold line just to make sure it's even on both sides. All right, there we go. And I'm also going to cut out, and I should have did this on the other side too. Hey, Monica. I'm cutting out this little extra right here. It'll just make it easier for when I'm fishing the elastic through to not have as much seam allowance in there. And then I'm just opening it up. Sometimes people stitch it down too. That's another option. That's probably the better option, honestly, I think. But too late now, I cut it. So we're going to work with that. And I'm pinning it. And I'm not pinning it tight. I'm giving it like a loose pin just to, because I am going to press it too. Monica, you working on anything? Or you relaxing this weekend, no sewing? All right, I think we have just pinned down all of our self-facing. Oh, a couple more pins on this side. Because I want to make sure. All right, and we have our 1-inch elastic. But before we do that, I'm gonna give this a quick press. And actually, I don't even think I need to do that. I think it's laying down pretty good. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and stitch this, and I'm gonna leave open a little area, probably right here at the ruching seam, to insert the elastic. I'll just make it a little easier. All right, and same situation as last time. Just gotta take our time because this fabric is super stretchy. There we go. And I'm just making sure, cut my pattern, but I was waiting for some fabric to be delivered. I'm gonna see something. I'm gonna sew something for sure this weekend. Okay. I'm sure it's gonna be really nice. You sewing for you or for a family? I was saying earlier that I had repaired a zipper for my boyfriend. His zipper broke, and I'm like, I don't like sewing for other people, but I really enjoy doing that. I think it was just the thought of like, yeah, you don't have to actually go and put it in the cleaners to get your zipper repaired. I can do it. I have the skills to fix the zipper fly. Like, that was the best feeling. My niece asked me to make her shirt for her sports, like with her name on it and stuff. I said, you know what? I can do that. Like, that kind of stuff I actually don't mind doing. All right, I think we are at least halfway done. Yourself. Okay. Hi, Darlene. Welcome. Thank you for joining. So we are sewing Burda 5811. Where's my... Here is our skirt. And we're doing this middle one. But you'll see from the pattern, this is 3 different lengths. This one they're kind of showcasing is a more professional work. This one is a bathing suit cover up. And this is just like casual, like a mini skirt. And that's what I'm making. More of a casual. The intention was for it to be a little bit oversized, but I realized like Burda's patterns, their sizing is a little different than what I'm used to. So there's that. So I ended up cutting a size 20, which is what it says is the right size for my hip and waist. Okay, so we have our little opening to put our elastic in, and we are going to do that now. So let's see. We got 1 inch elastic. I'm going to measure it around my waist. Enough for some stretch. So stretch it a little bit, but I still have a lot. I don't know if you can see that, but so I'm gonna cut it right here. And I'm gonna use a safety pin, a much bigger one, to fish this through. But first things first is I'm going to safety pin this in so I don't pull the whole thing through. And then, thank you, Darlene. Then that's it. We're going to be trying it on. That is it. Okay. This also helps me make sure it doesn't twist as I'm putting it in. Boom. Okay. So this should go through really quick because this is big. I'm telling you, like stitching down those seam allowances in the waistband is a lifesaver when it comes to being able to effortlessly get this elastic through. Because even with, I didn't stitch them down, I cut them. But even with the cut, it's like, you gotta be mindful. There we go. I feel like this is going to be not too big, just going to be the right amount of oversized that I want. All right, we're almost there. I think despite my best effort, I think I did end up still twisting the elastics. I got to make sure it's not twisted before I stitch it. So let me do that really quick. All right, here we go. I'm just going to stitch these both together. I mean, pin them together while okay, that's all straight. Okay, maybe I didn't. I thought I did. But I think it's all okay. So now that I know it's all okay, I can overlap and stitch these down. And then I always try it on before I close up the hole, just to be sure. I don't need to do anything. And I'm actually going to cut just a little bit more off of this. I cut like 1/4 of an inch off of each end. And now I'm going to do a zigzag stitch that will connect both of these to make them into one. All right, here we go. So I basically stitched it together. All right. And now I'm going to flip it right side out. And I literally could just slide this over. And we put the table down so you can see. Let's put this down. I think it turned out really good. I'm going to ruche the side up a little bit too so you can see. I think it's fitting exactly the way I wanted it to fit. So let me turn on. Turn on this light. This light. This light. Okay, so that should give it much more lighting. Okay, so let me turn this to the side a little bit. I have on my shorts underneath here, so it's not turning as easily, but let's see. So I don't know if you can see this, the ruching as well on the side, but let me just tie it in a little knot. So it's cute. It's super cute. I don't know if you could, how much you could see of it, but it is really super cute. And you can ruche it up as high or as low as you want it. But I really like it. It is so cute. Yes, I like the way this came out. The only thing I would say is that, you know, by me using, oh, maybe I just had to turn it. Okay. I was going to say the side seams aren't matching up to the side, but they are. I just had to turn it around a little bit. But Yeah, this is the ruche side, if you could see that. And then here's the other side. You know, gives a little bit of a high-low effect on this side. You know, again, you don't have to ruche it up as high. I think the ruching would have been cute on both sides, but definitely the one side for sure. But it's cute. It is so cute. It is definitely really nice. I like it a lot. And let me just, my elastic got a little twisted. But yeah, I think it's really cute. Hopefully you can see that. But I will definitely probably be wearing this weekend, depending on the weather, with a little cute tank. Yeah, I like it a lot. It's a very cute mini. I mean, kind of mini. I know mini is probably a little bit shorter than this, but I think it's good. It's a mini for me. So yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Said my daughter moved to Thailand, and you've been promising her some linen pieces. Okay, Thailand. I love Thailand. Yes, Thailand. Okay. Are you going to visit her? Thailand is amazing. So yeah, anyway, skirt is done. We did that 1 hour, 47 minutes. Y'all should be so proud. I know I am. This is what I would definitely consider this easy. I would definitely consider this quick. Hour 47 minutes is quickish. Thank you, Darlene. I feel like because it's black, you can't really see it as well. But I'll try to get some really good pictures when I take pictures of last weekend's. I'll just bring this and take a picture in this too, because it is super cute. Wait a minute. Oh, well, no, I'll put my heels on and do all that tomorrow. Because I was going to say, oh, let me go put some heels on, but you're not going to really be able to see. So I'll work on that. But I definitely would say if you can make it, you should make it. It is cute. I like the fact that it's not fitting me super tight, which is that's why I want to sew a larger size. But again, pay attention to the sizing for Burda, because it's not what we're used to in terms of if you sew the other big 4, big 5, whatever they are now, patterns. Sizing is definitely different than those. So yeah, just be mindful of that. But I feel like it worked out for me that the size 20, when I normally sew a size 16, worked out perfectly. So anyway, I appreciate all of y'all for joining, for watching. We will be back next week, and we are sewing. Let me show y'all what we're sewing next week. So the top that I wore at Baltimore Frocktails is what we are sewing next week. I'm going to have it on my dress form behind me for next week. But we are making this top. I made it in a sequins, and it was so cute. It was so cute. So we're going to make this top. And then the last week of August, we are actually going to make these pants. And Aisha, I know you said you made them, but I'm switching out my schedule because I had McCall's for not the last week of August, the second to the last week of August. We're making these pants. So I'm going to put up my revised schedule. So we're making this on the 8th, and then we're going to make these pants on the 22nd of August. So stay tuned. But yeah, you're going to want to make this top. This top would look really cute with this skirt in a knit. And I'm going to make it in a knit this time around. I made it in sequins last time, and it's so cute. Super cute. But Aisha, who's on right now, made this already too, the whole set pants, and she said that she loves this set. So I'm excited to make these pants. I think I'm so conflicted. I don't know whether I'm doing B or C for the pants. I'll figure it out when we get to August 22nd. But this is what we're doing next Friday. This top, we're making a top next Friday. So pick out your fabric, get your pattern, and join me. Sew along from home while we sew this together. I've already made it, so we're going to smooth right through it. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited about that. So this is next week. And today we did Burda 5811. We did this. I definitely think my skirt looks like that for sure. Definitely. You can see I feel like it looks just like that, but in black, my favorite color. So yeah. Anyway, I will see all of you, I hope, next Friday. Until then, make sure y'all sew something for yourself. Um, yeah, be good to yourself. Bye, everyone. See you next week. Have a great weekend. She was living in Madrid and now she's in Thailand. Look, I love that. Wanderlust. She is out and about, and I love that for her. You just got to go visit her in all these wonderful places. I've never been to Madrid, and I actually never been in Thailand either. That's the place I want to go. I was over in that side of the world and went a whole lot of other places, but Thailand was not one of them. But I absolutely want to go. I know so many people that have been and seen pictures, and I know it's just a beautiful place. So I'm going to Thailand. I'm going to Thailand soon. All right. Bye, everyone. Thank y'all for watching. Thank you, Aisha. Thank you, Darlene. Thank you, Monica. Thank you, everybody, for joining. And I will see y'all next Friday when we do Know Me. What is this? 2110. So see y'all then. Bye.